schedule starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage. CD, always more eyes on these night games, and they started it off nicely there on that run.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. Don't think for a second these players don't know and understand that. They want to impress their peers across the league. They also want to win the ball game. That's the way to get things going.
Purdy now to throw off the play action. Throw left side complete. That's Porter. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. We'll give now to Abanikanda. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
Purdy off the play fake. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. A wild throw there, and it is intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared. But I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. Over the middle, complete. That's Parker. Down the left sideline. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Catch and run. 55 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they took field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Throw left side is hauled in by Palmer. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Olave holds it in. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Now Purdy, he's going to change the look here.
Second and 11. He's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones. That seemed to me to be all about trusting your receiver.
No doubt about it, because when he put that ball in the air, I will guarantee you everyone who's watching this game right now thought that's up for grabs. But this is a lot of practice time. As you mentioned, a ton of trust, and he knows how good this guy is. So to him, it wasn't up for grabs. To him, it was a big play waiting to happen.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Purdy looking to throw.
Olave over the middle. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it's second down.
Well, this defense for the Chargers, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Once more, Purdy looking to throw.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When you talk about the defense for these Chargers,
well, they come into play number 12 in the NFL against the run.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we got to keep an eye on, because you talk about where they rank in stopping the run, but how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give.
Throwing here, Purdy.
And that's complete to McCaffrey. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
They'll keep it on the ground. Joyner, he can't get him down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 1st down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Here's Herbert.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. The Chargers at 7-1 now on the year, and they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And as much as we hate to play this game, you know I'm going to do it anyway. Extrapolate that over a full season. What does that come out to, partner? 14-2. And anyone in the NFL, they'd sign up for that record, that's for sure.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. Herbert. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. Third down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out. But his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert on the move to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you wanted to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape for a first and goal.
He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down. Purdy now to throw. And this pass caught by Gray. Look at the big follow go. Touchdown, New Orleans. Noah Gray, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Looks good on the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Okay, let's make some good plays today. Come on.
Now a handoff up the middle. Joyner. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The Chargers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. That could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line jump. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
What is the deal? Son más malos que el veneno.
On 1st down, Joyner. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Herbert now. And he fires one incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now a give, right side. Joyner. And room there to work it inside the 25. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Back to throw here, Herbert. He finds his man, complete. That's Page. Hook up a 15 yards there. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now it's Herbert. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll run on first down. Joyner just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Here's Herbert. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown, Chargers. From 13 yards out. And the Chargers are able to add on to that lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes it a 21-10 game. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And not willing to risk a return. This ball is going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there? Well, they certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
3rd and 3. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Play action. Now Purdy. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. The mistakes continuing to pile up, and it looked like they were going to be able to eat into that deficit. Instead, now the deficit is even larger.
Yeah, they were on a march with a chance to get back within a score, but now that deficit continues to grow.
Extra point up and good by Dicker, and the lead is up to 18 now. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Oh, he'll take a shot from McCaffrey downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Down to the 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 81 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Charger drive about to get going. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Herbert. They'll find his man. That's Taylor again. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Throwing quickly, and Herbert completes it. And he'll be caught out across midfield down to the 45. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down. Up the middle they go. Joyner. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They'll keep it on the ground. Joyner, and he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 42 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Herbert off of play action. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Back to throw. Herbert. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now a handoff up the middle. Joyner giving 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Purdy. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I thought at first he'd try to run, but he just kept buying time to his right. Finally, nothing there. He wisely gets rid of it.
Now Purdy. Eluding the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
They approach this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Out of the gun, Purdy. Looking deep here for Dobbs. And able to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
On now to punt, Brad Robbins. On the punt, 2 on the return, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Charger drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. Open man right side. That's McConkey. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, Joyner. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. Up the middle they go. Joyner. A strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 69 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
On first down, Joyner. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Set. Ready.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on first down.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Set. Keep the ball moving. Let's keep those sticks moving. Set.
Looking to throw. Herbert. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers.
A great play there. A feast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game.
And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, second down. Purdy off the play fake.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. McCaffrey following the penalty. Not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
Olave over the middle.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the fourth down.
Giving to the big tight end on fourth. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not... Push the line forward, and indeed he did not. They stop him. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
Now a handoff up the middle. Joyner. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Operating from the gun. Herbert to the right side, complete to Taylor.
And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On second down and 4. Herbert. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Throwing here, Purdy. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack. And it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. Back to throw now on 1st down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
set to throw. That one out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Dicker now to tack on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kick. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Now a 2nd and 10.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Well, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position.
first down. Joyner. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. More from L.A. in a moment. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Vidal. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. On the give, it's Vidal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. They'll run with Vidal. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. A run, and here's Vidal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. I'm not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
He may go. Christian McCaffrey,
Touchdown, New Orleans.
Christian McCaffrey.
Career touchdown number 136, tying it with Marshall Faulk for 7th on the all-time list.
And the Saints get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On the ground, it's Vidal.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Parker.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
First down, Vidal. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So jumping from his free safety spot.
That tells you how aggressive they are on defense, doesn't it? They get everyone involved. He was a little too fast on that play.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. He'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. Throw over the middle, caught by the tight end, Gray. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Back to throw again. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession. But the coverage held. It goes in.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Oh, they try lateral on the return. Now the ball's loose. And picked up by the Chargers. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. And finally, he's taken down at the 18. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high.